Mevaseret, I just wanted to thank all the guests for coming also, and it adds a lot. It's most of a lot. When we have more guys in Yeshiva, it adds to the Ruach, it adds to the whole matzah that's going on, and we really appreciate all the guys that came in. And for our guys, for the Mevaseret guys, there's no need. I'm not gonna introduce Rabbi Kalish, but I do want to say that there are few occasions in life that you have the opportunity to be in the presence of a malach, of a Moshe Rabbeinu who's makasher Klal Yisrael with the Ribono Shel Olam. And I'm not going to talk. There's no reason to talk. Everybody knows this, but in every generation, in every dar, for the Mevaseret guys who are not familiar, Hashem puts down in our generation somebody who gives us the ability to connect to the Ribono Shel Olam through words of Torah, through words of Chizuk. A person who loves every member of Klal Yisrael, and he gives to each member of Klal Yisrael the hargasha, the feeling of what the Ribono Shel Olam feels towards each member of Klal Yisrael. And there's no words that can do justice to properly introduce Rabbi Kalish, who's in our generation the person that connects Klal Yisrael to Avinu Shabbat Shemayim, and it's a big honor, a tremendous honor. We have a tremendous amount of Akar Tov to the Bogan family, and to Waterbury, and to all the Talmidim, the whole Chevra, and most of all to Rabbi Kalish for giving us a few minutes, coming all this way. We appreciate it immensely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Rabbi for his very, very kind words, his warm and kind words. I was zeicha. We all had different experiences during COVID. During that period of our lives, it was complicated for us all, from tremendous bracha of Hashem to nisyonos. Each person, his own experience. But one of the things during COVID is I met Rabbi. Somebody in Yeshiva was on a shiur, and I hopped on the shiur. We were in Pennsylvania together, and somebody was on a shiur, and I met a mechanech who's idealistic and brings it. To me, the picture of a good mechanech. In the secular world, a good educator is exciting, dynamic. That would be like the uptight, and certainly Rabben is geschmack, no question, but that's not what we see as a good mechanech. I don't think in our world, certainly not kids, not people of today, not Bachrim of today, I don't think that's how we would classify a mechanech as somebody who's exciting or has a certain charisma that is no shaykhus. We want authenticity. We want that which we detect is honest, is present, is somebody, a person being themselves. And authenticity, to be oneself, is its own challenge, and then to share that when one is in the public eye, to share that's difficult. And when I met Rabben from a distance, and I met the Talmidim of Rabben, I saw a mechanech who's exactly that, authentic, sincere, kind, and shares authenticity with guys. So it's a zchus to be in this yeshiva with Rosh Yeshiva, Reb Berg, Rabben, all the Ramim, all the Bachrim. So I really want to thank the whole Chevra. I want to thank the whole Chevra for allowing me to come, allowing all the Chevra to come here and share Divrei Torah and sing together. We certainly won't jump. We have that in yeshiva by us as well. Hashem made it that the dining room by us, if we jump, we have fears that we'll end up under the dining room. We want to stay in the dining room and keep the dining room standing. But I do want to sing. Before we share Divrei Torah, if we can sing together, but we'll sing something slower. There's no threat that we'll dance to this one. At least we'll start. So, but even if we dance, if it happens, we shouldn't jump. We can't. We have to make sure not to do anything dangerous. But if we could sing Vani B'chastecha B'tachti together, and then we'll learn some Divrei Torah. I'll try to start the right key. Better yet, you should start the right key. Okay. There's a lot to say meeting, but we have to be present. Our people is in middle. We just tonight we found out today that they're Yidden going back home, and it's not. We have to avoid halachic discussions, political discussions, because you and I are not deciding the psak. What you and I are people that care about our brothers, about every single Yid. And you and I are happy that a Yid's going back home, that a Yid's coming back to our people. It doesn't involve what the halacha, that's a shayla, but that's not what we're busy, that's not our shayla. What we're busy is that a yid's going home, our brother, a yid, we're not mevater on one yid, and we're seeing a people, Am Yisrael, that's full of betachon in Hashem, v'ani b'chastecha b'tachti. We're a people that's praying, a faithful, a people that are b'teach in the chesed Hashem, v'ani b'chastecha b'tachti. It's interesting, David HaMelech says, Vani b'chastecha v'tachti. Even when things might be bleak, even when things are concerning, even when things are difficult for the Yachid or the Rabbi, b'chastecha v'tachti. I have faith in your chesed Hashem. I know you're into us. I know you care about us. And b'chastecha v'tachti, I have faith in your chesed. Then David HaMelech says, Yogel libi b'shuasecha. Now, be'emes, there are many words for simcha. We all know that the difference in Lashon Kodesh in any other language. Every other language, this is not a hand. That's not a ceiling. The floor might not be a floor for other reasons, but it's not a floor. And it's called the floor. It's called the hand. It's called the ceiling. It's only called such. It's not what it is. It's not a hand. It's called a hand. If somebody reads the Megillah in English as Yaitza, because they know what they're referring to, but if they don't understand English, they're not Yaitza. Because you didn't say anything if you don't know what. If you said hand, you don't know what this is, you didn't say it. If you say yad, this is a yad. It's what it is. It's not what it's called. It's a yud daled. That's what it is. That's its kayat. It's not called a yad, it is a yad. So if there are many ways to say simcha in any other language, you can have synonyms. In any other language, there could be two ways. Joy and happy don't have to be different. Don't have to be different. In Lashon Kodesh, it's impossible to have a synonym. There's no such thing in Lashon Kodesh. It's the only language in the world, there are no synonyms. Because if it's the same thing, then it will be the same word. Because it's not a way to say happiness. In English, you could have 5 ways to say happiness, and they all mean the same thing. In Lashon Kodesh, if it meant the same thing, it would be the same word. If one is simcha and one is gila, they can't mean the same thing. Because one is gimel lamed hey, or gimel yud lamed hey, and one is sin mem ches hey. So it's different words that are not the same thing. So what's this yagil? What's gila? What's Yagil Libi? It's a brand and a type of simcha. What's the simcha of Yagil Libi b'shuasecha? Perhaps there's reason to believe, and certainly one has to research this. I'm not saying it as a fact. There's reason to believe that the brand of simcha of Gila is unexpected. Milashin Megala. Somebody finds money in his pocket. It's like, wait, where'd this come from? That's a Gila. It's a simcha of the unexpected. I can't believe it. Whoa, I didn't expect that. Something was Megala. One of my sons claims that the word Rina, I have a daughter Rina, and the brand of simcha of Rina is process when you work through something difficult. Kumi Raini Balayla, Hazayrim Bedima Berina Yiksayrim. Many Mekairis, Rina is a joy, something was shver, something was difficult, something wasn't positive, and it was worked through. There's a Rina to that. That's a unique, it's Kumi Raini Balayla. The night and difficulty lends to a Rina. Gila is the unexpected joy, if that's true, and it would fit in the word Gila, which means to be Megala. Whoa, I didn't expect that. Then it's very difficult pasuk to understand. Vani b'chastecha b'tachti. I was confident in your chesed. I knew it would come. I knew they'd come home. B'chastecha b'tachti. So why are you yagel libi? Why are you so shocked? Why are you yagel? It shouldn't be Gili should have a simcha, but you b'teach. Yagel is a shocked joy. Yagel libi b'shuasach. Why do you have Gila? You thought this would happen. You were b'chastecha b'tachti. You knew it would come, so you could be samach in the Yeshua. But why is it Yagel libi? Why do you have the Gila? Perhaps what David HaMelech is saying is Yagel Libi Bishuasecha, even though the words are, I will rejoice. But he's describing that I'm so Baiteach, I have the Gila now. At the moment that I grab my faith, at the moment that a Yid grabs on, Hashem's working with me. And I'm in good hands. We're in the Rabbi Shalom's hands. Yagel Libi Bishuasecha is not later on, because why would it be a Gila? He means at this moment, I'm already like shocked that the Yeshua didn't even come. The Yagil, I will stay in this state. I will stay in a state of Gila. Yagil Libi Bishuasech. I'm just going to stay in the state. The Gila is now, not when it comes, that the Yid was Baiteach, but it means at the moment the Yid gets B'tachan, at the moment the Yid grabs on that I'm in good hands, and could take it to the bank, Yagil Libi, that second, they have a gila, they already have an excitement that stays, a lasting excitement in the Yeshua's Hashem. They're holding on and they're seeing the Yeshua's Hashem. It describes, it came out of pasuk by Miriam, Miriam knows she's Baiteach in Hashem, her brother is in the Yam, but she knows there's going to be a Yeshua. So she's sitting there anticipating, waiting to see what it's going to look like, the Yeshua. Yagel Libi B'Shuasecha. I have the Gila right now at the moment that the Yid's Baiteach. I want to study in Parshas Vayechi, in last week's Parsha, I want to study a Rashi that I think could be beneficial for us. In the Sugyas, we're in sugyas, we're holding as a nation in sugyas of being present to the kindness of Hashem, but also withstanding challenging time and the Zionis. And there's a Rashi, a Chazal, that I think might be a big message from Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov was the Av who starts the Golus. Yaakov goes to Mitzrayim. And he's the Av who starts the Golus. And he shares a lesson with Yosef and with our whole Ummah that I think is very relevant in our times. It says Yaakov Avinu, after he calls in Yosef HaTzadik at the end of Yaakov's life, and he has Yosef HaTzadik promise him that he'll bring him to Eretz Yisrael. That you'll bring me to the Ma'aras HaMachpelah, Kvartani B'Kfurasam. He has Yosef HaTzadik promise to bury him in the Ma'aras HaMachpelah, and Yosef promises. Then it says, Vayishtachu Yisrael al Reish Hamita. Yisrael, Yaakov Avinu bows at the head of the bed. That's what the pasuk says. Comes Rashi. And Rashi's first bothered by the father bowing to his son. It shouldn't be that way. The tata bowing to his son, it's inappropriate. Doesn't seem right. So Rashi says, Tale be'idnei sagidle. Rashi brings the Gemara Megillah, that Tale, the fox, normally the king of the animal kingdom is the lion. But 1 month a year the fox rules. There's a period of Zman that things go out of order. It's designed by Hashem. There's periods of time, 1 month a year, the fox is inexplicably. The animal that doesn't belong in charge is in charge. And says Chazal, Tale be'idnei, the fox in his time, Sagidle, bowed him. When the fox rules, bowed him. Shouldn't be this way, it's crazy, what's going on? Except, Tale be'idnei Sagidle, the fox rules, bowed him. Any parent, any person who's raising children, Be'ez Hashem, everybody here should have beautiful families. And you'll see raising your kids, you will try to teach this and you won't have a lot of success unless. Every parent wants to teach his kid, Tale be'idnei sagidle. The fox in his time bowed to him. Yaakov Avinu was not supposed to bow to Yosef, it's his son. But he's the ruler of Mitzrayim. This is the circumstances. Tale be'idnei sagidle. He's the melech. Now, Yaakov doesn't mind, Yaakov Avinu. but he's teaching something to us for eternity. And things are very exact, where they're taught, what's being taught. Please pay attention. Yaakov teaches his children, Tale be'idnei sagadle, the fox in his time about him. How many parents, the kids in 5th grade, the teachers, impossible. And you just try to tell your kid, I love you, and you're right. And you're right. Do you say you're right? Do you not say right? Go to a chinuch course. But the kid is struggling. The kid is struggling in the class. And you want to tell the kid, this is your teacher, like just behave. Shucks, you don't agree, the teacher runs a funny class, but Tali b'idnei sagadli. In the summers, many guys from Yeshivat take jobs. And I feel like sometimes I spend my summer on the phone with guys. The guy's angry at the boss is angry at the guy. And I try to tell the guy in all different words, Tale b'idnei sagadli. The fox in his time back, he's your boss. Say he doesn't know how to run the business, say he does funny, I hear. But he's the boss, except Tale b'idnei sagadli. Youngsters struggle with this a lot. My belief, if people don't hear a message, MS wins. If people don't hear something, you have to ask why. I have come to believe that kids tend to be shamai. Tale be'idnei sagadle is a very Hillel type of concept. Shammai yearns for what should be. Hillel accepts what is. Many places in Shas. Shammai yearns, it says, la'asid lave, we paskin like Shammai. Shammai is what should be, and Hillel is what is. And Tale b'idnei sagadle is, this is the circumstance. Like, this is what it is. Accept, deal, very hard. Accept and deal, this is the circumstance. Kids struggle, they think like Shammai, but it shouldn't be this way. I'd rather suffer and not accept. This shouldn't be, it's not right. I refuse, I'm not ben. An asid lavai type of thinking, a beautiful thinking. If you actually understand the value of that, then you could teach Hillel. You can't teach Tale b'idnei sagadle if you don't chap something's wrong, and it shouldn't be. And if you don't understand, if you don't understand what somebody's coming from, they won't understand where you're coming from. And all the time, adults try to teach kids in all different versions, Tale b'idnei sagadle. You'll see people who tend to have an neshama of Shammai all their lives. They struggle accepting, but it shouldn't be that way. You say, I hear. No, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not how it's supposed to be. And they're right, and there's a world of asid lavai. There's a world of that. But Yaakov Avinu teaches us, Yeshivat Tzaddik, and all of Am Yisrael, in one of the last lessons, when he's talking about his kfur already, one of the last lessons of our Tata Yaakov Avinu, a message to all the dairas, to you and I, is Tale b'idnei sagadle, accept. The fox is in charge, accept. Now I want to proceed further for a minute. Comes Rashi, and the next Rashi, it's a Pella. It says, Vayishtach Yisrael al Reish Hamita. The very next Rashi, after Rashi said, Tale b'idnei sagadle, says Rashi, Yaakov Avinu bowed al Reish Hamita, Hachvech atzmai litzad hashchina. He turned to Hashem, and we learn from here that the Shechina is l'mala mirashoisav shel chayla. When there's a chayla, Hashem is right there. It's a very special place of prayer. Very special place of prayer by a chayla. My father, Areni Kaparas Mishkavai, was sick. I saw my mother turning around, looking around. So I said, Ima, I'll find out. I'll go call somebody, and I'll figure out which way is east. She said, oh no, I'm facing the Aron. I'm davening towards my tat. And she wanted to daven towards the Chayla and the Shechina's L'malam Rashaisav. It's a makam of tefillah. And Yaakov Avinu bows to the Shechina. That's a steer in Rashi's. The last Rashi says he was bowing to Yeshivat Tzaddik. Rashi is bothered by Yakasha, a father bowing to a son. Tale b'idnei sagadle. Yosef's in charge. It's not the way it should be. But this is the situation. Second Rashi, Hafech atzmai litzad hashchina. Yaakov Avinu turns to the Shekhinah and was bowing to Hashem. So what's the Talei B'nei Sagile? He wasn't bowing to Yosef, he was bowing to Hashem. Literally a contradiction, the Mefarshei Rashi. Kemat, all of them say one Rashi to the next, a contradiction. One Rashi says he was bowing to Yosef HaTzadik, and he has to bavarn, he has to answer Talei B'nei Sagile. And the next Rashi says he was bowing to Hashem. What's the story? So the Mefarshim in different ways explained that both things were true. If he was only bowing to Yosef, it shouldn't say Al Rosh Hamita. If he was only bowing to Hashem, it should say V'ishtach Yisrael Hashem. Both things are true. But the Kasha begs, were there two bows here? So then let the Torah Hashem say the two bows. He bowed to Yosef. What's happening here? In one bow, Hashem in one bow brings a bow to Yosef and a bow to Hashem. What was the bow? Who was the bow? And if there were two bows, bring two psukim. What's the sparing of it? To bring it in one sentence. Yaakov Avinu bowed. And in that sentence, he bows to Yosef and he bows to God. So I have two psukim. It's even a shtickle funny. He bowed to Hashem. So bring a pasuk. Yosef bows to Hashem. By the way, he also bowed to Yosef. And I want to suggest, and this is difficult in all the situations of our life, but I think in Golus, I think in the situations we face ourselves, and it's difficult, and this is not said lightly, and in Avodah, many tears, much frustration, but I think in all our lives, the key to Talei B'nei Sagile is to understand that the Rabbi Shalom sets up the circumstance of our lives. In order to ever bow to do Talei B'nei Sagile, one has to understand Hashgachas Hashem. I am where I'm supposed to be. Situation. There's something it's hard to understand. There's a tikkun in this for me. I'm in good hands. I'm in the right place. The Meichin Mitzadei Gover, he who prepares the footsteps of man, has put me where I'm supposed to be. And there has to be that faith. Otherwise, a person can never come. But it shouldn't be this way. But I don't get it. But it's not. And you can't accept. You can't just accept that Talei B'nei Sagile. This is the situation. I believe Yaakov Avinu L'Dairis is teaching Yosef and all his banim, us who are the banim of Yaakov Avinu, that the key to Talei B'nei Sagile, the key to the acceptance, to the dealing with the situation that is Gufa, a bow to Hashem. A bow to Yosef, a bow to a situation that doesn't seem right. The father bowing to the son is a bow to Hashem, comes from bowing to Hashem, comes from understanding. The Rebbeinu Shalom feel to Welt. The Rebbeinu Shalom runs the world. Hashem er Hashesav shel Chayla. Hashem's at the head of the Chayla's bed. Hashem's running things. Hard to understand. I don't necessarily, but Hashem's running things. The Rebbeinu Shalom, again, difficult and not said on somebody else's situation. That's on our own situations. On their own difficult, it's an olam anasayin. And often accepting the situation, succeeding within the situation, overcoming and with a faith. Talei B'nei Sagile speaks much more than a bow. It speaks about a matziv, the emunah of a yid of this situation. I don't understand, Hashem, but you're running and I'm in good hands. The way one could be Talei B'nei Sagile is the bow to Hashem. That is a bow to Hashem. He's saying that I need this. There's some tikkun in this. And I need this situation. In that place, in that space, that the person, mamish is a boiteach, but real is a boiteach, is a person of faith. I saw my Rebbe was nifter this year, and I saw in my Rebbe somebody who spent a lifetime. He was an Avardiker, and he worked on B'tachon his whole life. He worked on B'tachon. His whole life was a sugi of B'tachon. And the ultimate Avardik, I'll tell you something interesting. I wasn't planning on saying, I'll tell you something interesting that I want to share with the Chavim. My Rebbe grew up. He was a Talmud of his father. His father was a governor. his father, many Gedolim, the Panovich Rav, Rav Yaakov, Rav Aaron Kotler, said he was a Lamed Vav Tzaddik. He was a Talmud of Slobodka, and he was a very big tzaddik, and he was my Rebbe's Rebbe, his father. My Rebbe was taken out of school in 6th grade. Most of the kids in his elementary school were not Shayim Torah mitzvahs, came out of all of them. And his father took him out of school and taught his son. And he had an illustrious Rebbe, his father. Then afterwards, he became a Talmud, Rav Aaron Kotler, very, very close. So he had 2 giants for Rabbi. He was a Talmud of his father. His father taught him honesty. His father was an incredibly honest person. His father taught him to respect all human beings. My Rebbe spoke to every guy. The guy was, the custodian was treated like royalty. Mechabed, he got that his father was a sugya of Mechabed Kol Adam, every person in the world. So he had honesty, he had his own opinions and learning. He got very many great things from his father. Then he was big enough to seek another Rebbe, to seek a Rebbe, Rav Aaron. Now he has his father, Rav Aaron, and my Rebbe was older. He was in his mid-20s, and he has 2 illustrious Rebbeim. He's set for life. And he could have said, "Dai, I'm good to go, I have." And remarkably, when he got married, he took his wife's grandfather, Avram Yafen, as a new Rebbe and became a Talmud to his wife's grandfather. He had Rebbe, but he mamish became a Talmud of his wife's grandfather, who was the son-in-law of the Alter of Mevaseret. And the whole world, there was many sugyas of Mevaseret, but I would say the biggest was a world of betachon, faith. But really practicing, working, they had exercises, really living, not words, really putting into life an honest, serious faith in Hashem, a betachon in Hashem that he lived. And this was something that I saw a person who really had faith in Hashem on challenges that a person should be freaking out. I saw a person who lived, Hashem runs the world. He took things with a calmness, I saw menuchas hanefesh, a profound tranquility of a baiteach, of a person who lives with faith. And this midah of learning, it's something all of us need in Olam Anasayim. And I acknowledge it could be maddening, but it shouldn't be this way. And it's good to feel that way. I want to say a chiddush, Aryeh. It's good to feel it shouldn't be this way. It's fine. There's a certain club. We're such an interesting people because there's like a tzipisa Yeshua. It shouldn't be this way. That's good to say. We actually have that in our people. It's a tzipisa Yeshua, a certain sense. There's a controversial, this song, yeah, Yoter Tov, but it's perfect today, it's going to be better tomorrow, it's great today. We live in this space, it's awesome today, it's delightful. And then there's a tzipisa Yeshua, still there's Yeshua's coming. In acceptance of what's now, it's not a running over, and it's normal that you and I struggle to accept what is, but it shouldn't be. It can't be this way. It shouldn't be. There's also an understanding that the Baal Shem spoke about this a lot. He said, "Min ameid sakarasi ka." He brought a medrash that don't run away from the difficult circumstance. Feel it. Be in it. Don't run away from it. There's a degree of, if you will, I don't know the word acceptance. Hashem put me here. There's something that will come from it. There's things that will come, and the Rebbeinu Shalom wants me right here. And from that space, of course, it's Ipisa Yeshua, but from the space of accepting, and Yaakov Avinu teaches this to Yeshivat Tzaddik from one of his last teachings of his life to Yeshivat Tzaddik, who became the Melech of Klal Yisrael. So it's a lesson to us all. Talei b'idei savile, the fox in his time bowed to him. Which I think has wide ramifications, much more than a kid who struggles with his principle. And you'd say, just accept. The ramifications are much, much deeper. Because all the situations that are so maddening, Hashem is leading us somewhere. And this place He's taken, we're mamish in good hands. I want to say that I saw in my tata when he was very sick that I saw a tranquility and a peace, a calm, and he told me Hashem's dealing b'chesed with me. And I asked, this doesn't feel like chesed. How do you explain that? And he said to me that I feel an outpouring of love. People are davening for me. That's what you're thinking. You're between this world and the next. But there was a faith, real tranquility. Hashem, I want to live, but I'm in good hands. What Hashem has in store, I'm in good hands. Real faith, a real betachan that we're shaykh to. And then when you're in that space, you can actually see and receive kindness from Hashem. Feel kindness and see kindness from Hashem. So I say to us all, Baruch Hashem, the Yidden coming home is a Besura Taifa. Surrounded by complications, different psakim, but a yid to walk back to his family. Every yid, we need every yid, every. And I say, let's absorb the kindness of Hashem, and on the challenges, on the difficulties, on the situations, but how Talei Bidnei Sagidlei, bow to Hashem. Understand He has a plan for us. He's taking us somewhere, putting us through different situations that have a reason. There's a Rabbi of my children and myself. My kids always say he loves Golos. If you read Sfas Emes, Sfas Emes is very into Golos. The difficult situations we find they're not disturbances in our life. They're not just, okay, b'di'evet, Talei Bidnei Sagidlei sounds, if you don't understand it well, it sounds like this, to just deal with it, there's no other choice. It's not the energy you're telling. Nobody wants to hear that. That kid who has the difficult boss, the difficult teacher, and the person with a challenge in his life who has a difficult sister, a difficult neighbor, a difficult challenge in their life, it's not deal with it, this is what is. It's not what it is. It's the bow of Talei Bidnei Sagidlei was a bow to God. I think it's magical that the bow that was a bow to Yosef, this is the situation, was a bow to Hashem. It says you're working with me. This situation has a task, has a tachlis. I'm in this, there's something you're bringing out of me. There's a gain from the situation. If this is your boss, to tell a child, this is your teacher, deal with it. No, you're not saying that. Talei Bidnei Sagidlei says Hashem puts us where we're supposed to be. The Meichen Mitzadei Gover. And if this, as crazy as the scenario, the situation, as difficult, as much as I don't want it, but if this is what's supposed to be, then there's a gain for this situation. Talei Bidnei Sagidlei, bow to the fast. When he's in his time. Hashem wants him here and wants me by him. So that faith that we're called, this faith is something our people, I'm so moved by our people. Our nation is Lo Yehuman. And we're a people that have a tremendous faith in Hashem, and understanding even situations that are wild and difficult and unusual, Hashem's working with our people. He's bringing us some. And in this situation, I have faith. I have faith in your chesed. If we can sing together from the tune of the Balatanya, Hashem, I absorb your kindness, Elokai, and the things I can't understand, I remember. I'm in you. I know Hashem, you're working with me. You're just smarter than Hashem. If we could sing that time, if we could sing Keliata. here. There are a bunch of B'nai Torah in the room. We're trying to learn, to grow, to develop. I want to share a quick idea, and we'll close with a song or two. I want to share as follows a thought I don't think I've ever told you, Aryeh. It's a new Gemara. There's a new Gemara I can't stop looking at it. It's like remarkable. It blows me away. It's not normal. So let's hear it like this. I want to thank DR and Rav John Wogan. DR's father is somebody who's a friend for 25 years. He's there's a yeshiva called Waterbury with the first 4 Bachrim in the yeshiva. He was one of the first ones who was there. Bachrim should never think that the Rebbeim, they have achrayus for the yeshiva. I'm just a Bachar here. When I get older, it's not that way. It's not every person. Achrayus is a midah. I'm here with Ray Brownstein. The Yid's a gadol and achrayus responsibility. It's not a certain age. It's not a certain position. Achrayus, a responsibility. It's interesting. Yeshivat Tzadik's very, very strong. He's powerful. He's the spitz, the epitome of the person who doesn't give in to what he wants. The epitome, he can hold back. But what at least is Yetzirah, he has nisyonis and he's a tzaddik, he doesn't do. But there's one time Yosef lo yochel l'sapek, he mamish can it einhalten, he can't hold in. Yosef who always can hold in. One thing, he clearly wanted to not tell his brothers yet he's Yosef. You have to figure out what is that part of the nevuah. He wasn't supposed to tell yet. But lo yochel Yosef l'sapek, the man who always could hold back. What caused that he couldn't hold back? When he saw Yehuda's achrayus. When Yehuda says, Eich el Avi, how can I face my father? Vainari nenuiti. And I don't have my brother with me, he lost his mind. It's like, whoa, achrayus. I have to hug him, I have to kiss him. I'm Yosef, I'm your brother. Hug, we're done, game over. Lo yochel Yosef l'sapek. I got called to the Aliyah. Yeah, boy, Daniel Pinchas Ben. I was called up to the Torah for the second Aliyah in the Parsha, and Rav Yaakov Hillel Goodman was leaning. He was leaning. Rav Yaakov Hillel Goodman was leaning, and 4 psukim in, he reads the word. You always pay attention when the Torah talks, and you see what hits you. When you call to an Aliyah, if you like, the Tzibur said, come here, the psukim you're going to read, so it's probably likely that psukim are talking to you. If I was a betting man, so I like listening. When you call to an Aliyah, you probably should pay attention. I'm called up, and the Balkaya reads, Eich el Alavi, how can I face my father? Maybe I'm doing okay. Maybe it's fine by me, but my brother's not with me. All our people are thinking about this pasuk today. Eich el Alavi, how can I face my father? If I can't leave him behind. The goal in Mevaseret is to steig, but to cause the next guy to steig. I left him behind. Pull him up, encourage him, reach out. Your old friend, your sister, your brother. Eich el Alavi, how can I face my father? And he read the pasuk, it was like an explosion. You're supposed to, in that aliyah, it's the bottom of the daf, and you're supposed to turn the page of the Torah. You're supposed to roll it. So Yaakov Hillel Goodman says to the guy who gets the aliyah, me, he's like, could you turn it? I was like, keep going, I'm staying here. I was done. This is the pasuk. I'm on this pasuk. You're supposed to follow along, Einus. It was my 4th pasuk, so I did 3 Einus. I'm here. He shrugs, and he just opens. The Torah was open very wide that day. He went weiter. When he finished, I figured out when he was done. I came out of my trance, and I said my bracha. It ended. I was on that pasuk. Eich el avi v'nari nenuiti. When Yeshivat Tzaddik sees. When Yeshivat Tzaddik sees that Yehuda, that attitude, achrayus lo yochel l'sapek, the man who can always control himself can't control himself. Game over. A Yid's achrayus, a Yid's living with responsibility, cares about the next one. So I want Chevra to know, it's not like meant for a Rebbe, it's not a certain stage. I don't think somebody's selfish and at one point becomes not selfish. I think at every stage of our development, we have to learn and steig, we have to think about the next buffer. How can I make it more nishmat, better, good for my room? Achrayas, the person, Tayras Chesed. Tayras Chesed, to steig and cause the next one. So to me, John Wogan was one, Reb John was one of the starters of the Yeshiva Achrayas. Literally built a yeshiva. There's the investment when somebody gives to a yeshiva. A person in Mevaseret steigs, you could see it in yeshiva for years. A guy who's part of the yeshiva, he helps a younger guy. 5 years later, that younger guy helps a younger. The amount that a person has done and accomplished, well, the Chaim Salvava speaks about this. Always with achrayas, always steig with achrayas. I appreciate Rav John. He organized this last year. I appreciate his son DR and appreciate the Chevra. Really appreciate everybody here coming tonight and having me. I was going to share a second zach, but it could be that just to say that achrayas could be enough. But I owe the Gemara. Once I pumped it, okay, I owe the Gemara. So listen to this, Chevra. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. I will learn a Mishnah. We'll learn a Mishnah. It's an Indian to learn Mishnah. Learn Nishmas, my tata. Harinik Aparis Mishkave. Let's learn a Mishnah in us. The Mishnah says Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai hayu moine shvach shel uvis talmidim. Chamesha talmidim. He had 5 talmidim. I don't know if you have to learn. He only had 5 talmidim. It's talking about 5 talmidim. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and it says he relates their praises. And why is he saying the praises of his Talmidim? Now, it is true, you can't impact somebody you're not impressed by. There's no such thing. Rev Hirsch calls it the bedrock of education. If you're not blown away by somebody, you can't teach them anything. 0. That's like Pashut. I've seen that. If you're impressed by somebody, you can impact. Not you say you're impressed, not nice boy, be quiet. If you're mamish inside, you're nishtoimim, you're amazed by somebody, you can teach them. If you're not amazed, you can't teach them. So I'm not shocked that he said the praise of his Talmidim. But it says he was moine. Moine is to calculate, to count, to make an asik. He was busy with the praises of the Talmidim. Why does he do that? Why is he doing that? He's busy praising. Teach Torah, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. I picture Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai giving a lot of shout-outs. Like, to be minus, to calculate. He's busy with it. It's an asik. I understand he needed to know the praises. But what's he minor? What's he speaking it out and darshaning? What's that? Teach Torah. Teach Torah. What's he busy with the praises of the Talmud? There's a Gemara in Gittin that's so wild, and if it hits, what Masach is the yeshiva learning here this year? Beautiful. There's a Gemara in Gittin, Zion Amud Beis, that I can't believe it. Hashem is learning Torah. Hashem is learning Torah. Eliyahu Hanavi tells Rav Yatar. He tells Rav Yatar, Hashem's learning Pelegish Begiver. He's learning the sugya of Pelegish Begiver. So he says, what's Hashem saying Pshat? So Hashem quotes a pasuk, and Hashem says, Yonasan b'ni Amar Kach. My son, Yonasan. First of all, why does he say a title of endearment? Yonasan says, Yonasan b'ni, my son, my precious Yonasan, says like this. Evyasar b'ni Kachem, and Evyasar says like this. Frek the Gemara, is Hashem mesopik? Hashem's unsure? Says the Gemara, Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim, they're both right. The argument I'm bothered by is God's learning. What's he quoting the name? What? Forget. They're both right. They're both right. Say both pshat Hashem. Hashem only learned it from Evyasar. God's learning and says Yonasan says this pshat. My son Yonasan says this pshat. That's bizarre. That's bizarre. Say the pshat. Hashem teaches us Torah. Say the pshat. The ramification of this Gemara is it's goosebumps. The ramifications of the Gemara is Torah is what says and what you, the learner, experience that it says. That's Torah. Hashem created a Torah and created Yonasan. And Torah is Yonasan b'ni kach amar. Each of us are part of the Torah process. A yeshiva guy sits down in front of a Gemara and sometimes he feels like very detached. He's trying to get into it. It's the Gemara's here. Do you understand that Torah is you? With your personality, your quirky sense of humor? I'm trying to learn now first aid. Trying to like add a first aid. It's so hard. I respect you, B'nai Torah. Vil, to learn this. I'm trying to do one Seder. I'm struggling mightily. Probably just struggling. It's not so easy to learn a Seder. For many years I was busy. I'm trying to learn the first Seder. I have the best Chavrusa now. I learned my son Moshe. It's like delightful. He's ridiculous. That keeps me going. And I see on myself, I have to be quirky, Mifrit. I can't be tense. I like learning too much to need tense. I don't need to make up. I really like learning. Me and my son, we learn together. Quirky, weird me with Gishmak, cool him, and we learn together. Me as me and him and Sismak, we put our minds together. And I say my type of things, he says his. We get cool places. You're part of the Sugya, Be'emes. Don't look at, you have this like Gemara, read a piece, and you and your Chavrusa, what does it say to you? What's hitting you? What point even tempts you? There's so many places to go in the line of Gemara. What's hitting you? What does it appear? What's being said here? Say Kabbalistic, just go. Say, talk, think, analyze. You're part. When God learns, He brings a pasuk, and Yonasan, my son, says, please understand, did you ever wonder in Shas? It says Abaya Omer. Maybe Abaya, after all these years in Shemayim, changed his mind. Wouldn't that be awkward? You ever had a machlekes with your chavrusa, you're screaming. I had a chavrusa we never agreed on. We're screaming and yelling at each other. And then in the middle, I like, Chap, he's right, it's the worst. And you like been screaming the whole Mishmash years. Then halfway in, you Chap, he's just right. It's very awkward. This is the totally like not healthy and like just you try to like switch your shita to sort of be like him, and then you make it. There was no machlekes, like comfortable. It's very awkward and just uncomfortable to say. You know what? You're just right, and you're right. You're just right. So what happens in Shemayim if Abaya, like it would be very awkward in Shemayim, he said to Rabbi, and we sit for years studying, and Abaya long ago says, Rabbi, it's funny, they're all learning me, it's not really what I feel anymore. A guy asked me, I'm evolving as a person. A guy said, I heard an old shiur. He said, and you like rip these type of things. You all of a sudden became chassid shamis. So you're learning to do this and read, but like, where does this word? Like very awkward. I don't know. It's very important that when it says Abaya Omer means Torah is, and scholars say this wrong, my friends. Scholars, this makes me frustrated. Scholars, when they learn, they say, in the eyes of Rashi, but Rambam seems to feel. Oh, shudder! When I hear that, I'm like, it's long they don't know Torah. You don't get it. Mamish, you don't get this. They don't know that Gemara and Gittin about the base. They don't know the Gemara and Gittin because that's not how we view things. It's not like two intelligent scholars have a debate and dumb me, I don't know what to do. Like Rashi, this genius feels, but Rambam seems to counter, and then I'm like. That's not how we learn. It's not how you learn Torah. A Rishon says Pshat is Torah to us is what was written, and Rashi's look on what was written. That's Torah. Rashi, we don't. When we have two Pshatim, Rashi is not in the eyes. We have Torah. We have this word coming through a Rashi. And by the way, if Rashi learned that at a certain point in his life, then we have Torah from Rashi at that point of his life. Even if later he says different, so what? Rashi says is the same Hashem who made Torah made Rashi. Rashi says it's not in the eyes of Rashi, but Rambam counters. We have a Rambam, so we have words of Torah filtered coming to us through the Rambam. We have a Rashi, and Rashi says Pshat. When you sit down with your chavrusa, you're not trying to learn the Gemara. You're part of Torah. You're part of Torah. Dr. B'ni Kachamar. That's what Hashem learns in Sugya. I created somebody. He says B'ni. I made him. Dr. B'ni Kachamar. This is what he says. This is what he's seeing it. This is how he's processing it. With your experiences, with all your quirks, bring it. Have an opinion on it. You're part of this. It's not trying. The other way is so distant. The Gemara, you're like a string. You're trying to like get into it. Because it's here and like trying to get in. It's not here. The Torah is right here. Sit back. Don't be so intense. It's in you. Be you. If you're intense, you're not being. Be you. Be you. Mamish, be you. The mode of learning is when you show up you. When you read the piece, and now let's go filter. Let's go bring it. Yoinus Sambani Kachomer. That's Torah. Yoinus Sambani Kachomer. I can't believe the Gemara. It's like amazing. Yoinus. That's Hashem's Torah. Yoinus Sambani. You ever wondered in Shas all the busyness with the names? Drop all the names. Shas would be much smaller. Like the names, like just say. That's what Torah is Yoinus Sambani Kachomer. Rabbi Yochanan said, and Reish Lakish countered, that's Torah. But Reish Lakish, learning and processing, that's what Torah is. That's what Torah Shabbal Peh is. Have an opinion, Rabbi saying, learn, bring it. Have a kasha. I saw the way my tata respected everybody's question and zug and thing, like it was worth a lot, worth the world. So what are you saying? You say, oh, come on, Egypt. No, what do you mean? He had a kasha, he had a zug, took it seriously. He remembered people for their zugs for years. He brought down a guy for years. There was a yid who said a teretz to his kasha for years. My father would quote Reb Diskin and bring him. Reb Diskin said, each yid's teretz, kasha, approach is part of the sugya. Don't learn as an outsider trying to connect to this. Learn as somebody knows, I'm part of the Gemara. I'm part of the Torah. Read the pasuk and study. How does it come out through you? What does it say through you? When I was once reading how Reb Meir Pramishlam learned the pasuk Eichel Alavi, it could be that's why I don't know what hit me when. It could be that's why it hit me because I once heard him learn that pasuk. Here at Tzaddik, read a pasuk, and by the way, be at Tzaddik learning a pasuk. And see what it says to you. What does it mean? What is it saying? What is it? Have your opinion based on you. Bring you to the table. Show up. You're part of the sugya. You're not a guy trying to fit it. It's supposed to come through you. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter speaks about the shtark in the learning environment. That each Talmud has to have an opinion and a thought and an idea. That's a huge part of the learning. The best days of a shiur when a lot of guys, this one says this, and he argues and he says like, it's a beautiful sugya comes out. We have a little chabura, this chabura we're learning in the morning. Guys don't want the Rebbe to like say information we didn't know. That's nice. They want to like, each one put together on the line we learned. How do you think? How did you hear? And the things that come out, Michal says his svara, this one says his svara, each one says their svara. I think this idea connects very well with what we said that every single yid counts. Recognizing the importance, we're each an ice in the Torah, we each have a chelik in Torah, we each have importance. In our own journeys, don't imitate anybody else. You're necessary for the learning process. Don't say svara somebody else's, say your svara. Sometimes a Rebbe says to a bacher, says a svara, says, oh, you're saying good, say a little better. Don't say better, say you. Say you. Say you, don't say better. If the Rebbe's saying, say me, no, he should say him, you should say you. You got to say you. Say you. Say you. But really say what you think. Don't be lazy. Think it through. Think it through and talk. How's it hitting you? And then hear what your Chavrusa is saying. Here, and together you have the Torah's emes that emerges. Each one thinking, hearing, processing, feeling it out. What seems true to you? Learn to trust how it appears. It doesn't seem emes to me. It's very important. That's the biggest kasha learning. It doesn't feel right. I don't think that's what Rashi's saying. I don't see how Taisa say. We have to work hard. Don't be lazy. And work and form an opinion. We have a chelik in Torah. I want to ask, maybe Shloim and Chaim, the song "Let My People Go." I think would be very, very. Arya, you know that song also. If Heber comes up, that's Shaykh Arya. I want each person should be free. Say, in reality, we should have each yid back home, and every yid should be free. Should be in a present situation to know their svara counts, their journey matters, their ideas in Torah count a lot.
Afilu bi astara shebesai chastara bevadai gam sham nimtza Shem yizbava bada Afilu bi astara shebesai chastara bevadai gam sham nimtza Shem is Baba Bada. Let my people go. Let my people go. Let my people go. Let my people go. B'nai Yerushalayim, Ma'alav Hashem, Nidchei Yisrael. Afilu bi astara shebesai chastara bevadai gam sham nitza Shem is Baba. Let my people go. Let my people go. Let my people go. Let my people go. Do you guys know the song Mashchini? Alright, let's sing it. Please sing with me. Mashleini acharecha naruta. Mashleini acharecha naruta. Di-da-da, di-da-da-da-da-da. Di-da-da, di-da-da-da-da-da. search for you, it's hard to see sometimes. When you're gone, it's hard to see sometimes. But I know that you love me, you love me so. But I know that you love me so. One more time.
I wanted to thank every single person here. We should all of us should be zeicher. We should see good besuras. We should see Am Yisrael really one good news after another. We should see our Ramas Karen Yisrael. All of us in our own steigin should advance in learning and just grow and learn mitoich Yeshivat das, mitoich simcha, knowing yonis and b'ni kach amar. Mamish part. That's how Torah works. In all our journeys, what we're going through, what our own experience matter in the sugya, bring yourself, show up to the table, show up to the Beis Medrash with our svara. We should all be zeicha, tremendous success in our journeys of growing. All of us should have an aliyah and ruchnias, have success and good engagement. Have an excellent night. Thank you so much.
Hi, recording. Hi, Mama.